Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Barrick, and welcome to Springfield Indians hockey. Tonight, the Indians return home and face the New Haven Nighthawks in a key Southern Division battle. Tonight, our special guest on our pregame show, the linesman for tonight's contest, one of the linesmen, a 6-year professional and a native of Springfield, Massachusetts, Bill Dobbin. And Bill, first of all, and I'm going to put you on the spot right here and right early. The fans are coming into the building, and you're getting ready to get on the ice and put on that that black and white sweater. How do you prepare for a game, and how do you get ready for the fact that you're not going to be the most popular person in the Springfield Civic Center in about 1 hour?
Well, Mike, after 6 seasons, you get used to it after a while, but the preparation actually starts well before the game. Early in the day, you think about the teams to be playing, where you've had them before, there's strengths or weaknesses, things to look for. We'll talk over before the game with the other officials, little idiosyncrasies about the other teams, things to look for, and then we'll constantly talk to each other during the game, keeping each other alert, knowing when the penalties are going to expire, when a manpower advantage is going to be over with, things of that nature. We work as a team out there.
Bill, can you hear the fans? Can you hear them when they get on you and, you hear them up where we are, but can you hear it down on the ice?
There's no doubt you can hear them. You try and block out as much as you can. You try and keep your concentration on the game, because it's just that moment that you lose that concentration where you're going to miss a call. So for the most part, you've got to really concentrate on the game and let all the other nonsense just pass right through.
Bill, you hail from Springfield, and here you are doing the Springfield Indians hockey games, and you work in Springfield. You work for Sonitrol on the side when you're not being a linesman here at the Springfield Civic Center. Does that make it difficult for you to maintain that impartiality?
No, not at all, Mike. I grew up playing junior hockey in Springfield, and after I finished playing for the Springfield Olympics, I actually worked games in the New England Junior Hockey League. It really, if there's a tendency to have any impartiality, the supervisors that we have at every game are going to make us aware of it very soon. So you have to go out there with the idea that you're going to call it fair both ways, and you just call it as you see it. It's just one color against another color. It really doesn't matter what team's playing.
Bill, what's the excitement for you to get on the ice and do your job?
Well, as a kid, I always followed professional hockey. I went to the Springfield games over at the Coliseum. My biggest thrill, I remember when I first started, was working an Adirondack game with Peter Mahovlich playing. It was just a thrill for me to be on the same ice with Peter Mahovlich. And since then, I've seen so many stars come through this league. You know, Mike, the American Hockey League is a very impressive league that many people don't realize. There's a lot of stars that come through here, and a lot of up-and-coming players coming through this league.
Bill, you have seen a lot, and what maybe, looking back, was maybe your most tense activity on the ice, if you can recall?
There's no doubt. There's a clear-cut decision. 3 years ago, I had a playoff game in Rochester. It was Binghamton-Rochester in the semifinals. We had a bench-clearing brawl that lasted about 20 minutes, and it was a scene right out of Slapshot. And for a linesman to get in the middle of that, you're never going to forget it. It took days to forget.
I'm sure you had some guys all over you. Who was the big man?
Well, the guy I had at that time was Chris Langevin. There was a hit behind the boards. A fella got hurt. A Binghamton player came off the bench with his trainer. Rochester saw the extra Binghamton player. They emptied their bench. Binghamton emptied their bench, and then it was just a madhouse after that. As a matter of fact, that was the reason for the rule change they had a few years ago about not having an extra player come on the ice. A linesman will have to go over and get the trainer and bring him onto the ice.
Bill, a lot of fans that follow the game of hockey feel that fighting should be banned from the sport. You as a linesman have to get in there and break them up. What is your feeling about that?
Well, I'd be crazy to say it shouldn't be that way, but you know it's an entertainment dollar that everybody's looking to get. Fighting's always been a part of it. Most of the fans here, and you got to be honest about it, really do enjoy the fighting aspect of it. Psychologically, it gets the emotions of the people up there, and that's what draws them back week after week. That's where my paycheck's coming from, so I can't say they should throw it out, but being a linesman and being in front of some of the tough guys out there, I certainly would like to see them do away with it.
Bill, you wear a helmet, one of the few officials that do wear one. I know that the players all wear helmets now, a much different trend, and now it seems that some of the officials are going that way. What's the reason that you're wearing the helmet?
Well, first of all, it was a personal decision that I had to make. Number one was to keep my cowlick down, as you see that it sticks up. But the second of all, it was obviously, it was just a smart decision to make. It makes no effect on how you call a game. It doesn't affect the vision at all, but just for personal protection.
What's the toughest call that you have to make as a linesman?
Well, ignoring the idiosyncrasies of signals and working with your partner, I think the toughest thing is calling a two-line pass when you also have an icing on at the same time. In other words, a pass comes from deep in the zone, and two players racing in to touch the puck. You know you're going to have a whistle either way. Either you're going to have an icing or you're going to have a two-line pass. That's the toughest one to call.
Bill, I wish we had some more time to talk things over. I know the fans are very interested in seeing yourself up close, because they see you in that helmet and they yell at you, but they never get a chance to see how you feel about things. Good luck to you in the future, Bill Daubman.
Thank you very much, Mike, and it was very much a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bill Daubman, one of tonight's linesmen here as the Springfield Indians take on the New Haven Nighthawks. Springfield Indians hockey coming right up in just a moment.
The NCAA Women's Championships offer a highway to successful opportunities, challenging competition, excellent education, victories and medals, friendship and team spirit. This and more can be seen at any of the 34 NCAA Women's Championships. Get involved with college athletics. Attend an NCAA championship this season. For dates and sites, write NCAA Championships, Box 1906, Mission, Kansas, 66201.
Continental Cablevision Sports presents the New Haven Nighthawks against the Springfield Indians. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Barrick alongside John Forsland, and welcome to the Springfield Civic Center, where tonight the Springfield Indians look to go over the 500 mark against the Southern Division rival New Haven Nighthawks. And John, the Indians coming off perhaps one of their finest efforts of the year, a Friday night 4-0 victory over the Binghamton Whalers.
Been 3 of the last 5 for Springfield, Mike, and last night, Friday night, against the Binghamton Whalers, an outstanding effort, 4-0. Some great goaltending and just an outstanding effort, as was witnessed last week here in Continental. So the way the Springfield Indians have been playing of late, they've turned things around and are really making themselves established in that Southern Division.
The Indians currently tied for third with the St. Catharines Saints. The Indians at the 500 mark with 11 victories, 11 defeats, and 2 ties, and they take on the 5th place New Haven Nighthawks here this evening. John, the New Haven Nighthawks, somewhat like the Indians, all kinds of roster changes, and one guy who's just recently been sent down, a former 100-point point scorer in the first 3 years in the National Hockey League, a well-known name, Mike Rogers.
Well, you know, the New Haven Nighthawks have, Mike, 6 new players in their lineup here tonight since the last time we have seen the Hawks, and here's one of them, Mike Rogers, who began the season in New Haven, much heralded after new coach of the New York Rangers, Ted Sater, sent him down to New Haven. He, along with Steve Richmond and another player, and of course Rogers has come down now after being recalled just a couple of weeks back. He at one time was the Hawk leading scorer, but now has come back, and you mentioned he's a 10-year veteran, 3 consecutive years at the 100-point plateau in the National Hockey League. He put the puck in the net, and it's going to have to be watched on the offense for New Haven.
Well, we talked about the Indians' tremendous victory on Friday night. The man behind the pipes, or between the pipes, by the name of Kerry Taco, who picked up the first whitewash of the season and picked up a victory for Springfield in a very fine fashion.
Taco stopped 33 Binghamton Whalers shots on Friday night and was outstanding. There's a look at the Finnish goaltender, who's established himself as the #1 goaltender in Springfield. At the beginning of the year, Mike, as you know, he was number 3 on the depth chart. Now he stands #1 and is playing an important part in the recent surge of the Springfield Indians.
And another performer who has started to come alive again is Scott Howson. We know he's a natural goal scorer. He also picked up a couple in the Friday night victory.
Well, it was a close hockey game Friday night until this man right here, Scott Howson, poked in 2 goals in the closing seconds of the second period and really took the wind out of the sails of the Binghamton Whalers. There you see his point production, not very high at this point, but he has been up with the New York Islanders for much of this season. But should he be in Springfield for an extended period of time, the Indians will get much point production from Scott Howson.
So it's the Springfield Indians against the New Haven Nighthawks. Play-by-play coming right up, but before we get to that, let's pause for the playing of our national anthem here with Francis Smith here at the Springfield Civic Center. Okay, Springfield Indians ready to take on the New Haven Nighthawks here at the Springfield Civic Center. The starting lineups tonight, there you see Kerry Taco in the nets. In 12 games this year, 5-4-2 with 3.23 goals against average, picking up his first pro shutout Friday night. On defense for Springfield, starting off Vern Smith and Chris Pryor, Donnie Biggs centering Glenn Johannesson and Alan Kerr. For the New Haven Nighthawks, who come in tied for 5th at 9-14, starting in the nets will be Terry Kleisinger. There you see the youngster, 2-2 of 4.97 goals against average. On defense for New Haven, Jim Weimer and Steve Duchesne, Brock Treadway, Paul Gay, and Mike Rogers, the forward line. The referee this evening, Mike Noeth, and the linesmen, Bill Dobman and Bill Morrissey. So sit back and enjoy the action here on Continental Cablevision, the Springfield Indians and the New Haven Nighthawks. Play underway, and Chris Pryor scoops one to the Nighthawk line where Duchesne banks it off the board, banks it to center, and then Kerr rifles it right back in. Here's big Jim Weimer in his own zone, clearing one all the way to center and deep into the neutral zone, where Vern Smith spins back in his own into the ring. Backhands one on the near side for Kerr, bumps off Brock Treadway off the puck, and the loose puck skitters to center, where Rogers gives for Weimer, closing in on left wing, shoots and scores! Jim Weimer broke down the left side in just 29 seconds into this first period. The Nighthawks lead 1-0.
Jim Weimer, who came to the New York Ranger organization last season from the Buffalo Sabre unit, it scores the first goal here for the New Haven Nighthawks early in this hockey game. A slap shot from 30 feet. There you see it. That just beat Kerry Taco. Came out, and Taco had a good look at it, but the shot of Weimer's a blast. Beat him. Weimer, of course, came over to the New York Ranger organization in a trade for Dave Maloney. Maloney going to Buffalo, and it was Steve Patrick and Weimer coming to the New York Rangers. Weimer gets his 5th goal early in this first period. The Nighthawks have a 1-0 lead.
Now play going all the way into the Hawk into the rink, and Kleisinger sets it up for zone defense on the near boards for Brock Treadway. Here's Treadway trying to get by Terry Martin and clears one to center and deep into the neutral zone. It's 1-0 in favor of the Hawks. We're just underway as the Hawk Weimer takes over. Headman's to center ice, and then it's knocked right back into the Springfield zone by Paul Gay, and the Indians back after it. In his own zone for Springfield is Paul Hout. Lead pass on left wing for Terry Martin, dropping one through for Jim Archibald. He deflects one through, blocked off the defense, and cleared to center. Here are the Indians. Jim Cowdice backhanding one off the near boards, and the Hawks' Ken Hammond, who played his college hockey for RPI University. Clearing one ahead to center ice, and the Hawks clear one into the Springfield zone, whistle, and back after it for Springfield is Bill Stewart. Here is Randy Heath in a forecheck, checked off the loose puck there, and finally taken by Springfield on the near side. Here is Hout, lead pass for Gord Shervin, tries to splint through, shooting one. Owen Kleisinger gets a piece of it, never knew where it was, and finally was able to make the stop. It somehow was underneath him, and then he was able to make sure that it didn't go through.
Terry Kleisinger, we're going to see it right here. Watch Shervin with the excellent speed, split the Nighthawk defense, and really didn't get enough on this shot like he would have liked to. He's going to fan on it right here, and the shot here fooled Kleisinger. He was expecting a much sharper wrist shot off the stick of Shervin, and there you see him squeezing the pads, did not know where the puck was. And for Kleisinger, as you mentioned, Mike, the goals against mark up around the 5 region. He's been having his problems thus far this season, and that time looked a little bit shaky on the shot by Shervin.
Play underway, loose in front, quick play in front of the goal, but it's whistled down right in front by referee Mike Noeth. This is the first time we've seen Noeth in 1985-86.
First time seeing Noeth, and the 4th time seeing the New Haven Nighthawks. The Indians have a 2-1 record against the Hawks, but it was the last meeting between these two clubs in New Haven that saw the Indians fall to the Hawks by a count of 7-4. So the Indians looking for some revenge here tonight, taking on the New Haven Nighthawks.
The scoring play for New Haven, by the way, Weimer his 5th from Paul Gay at 29 seconds to give New Haven a 1-0 lead. Loose play in the neutral zone. A 3-man New Haven rushes Hammond. Gives for Dan Brennan. Dropping for Hammond. Hammond takes a hit from the Indians' Gord Shervin, who takes it off his stick and feeds cross ice on the far boards. Now dipsy doodling. And his own line is Bill Stewart. Stewart comes to center. Now moves across that line. Shooting one, and it deflects high and wide. Kleisinger fans on the loose puck back behind the net. Indians try and center one. Shervin takes a hit from Hammond. They jostle for the loose puck and picked up by Hout. Hout drops it back to the left point. Cowdice, the shot deflected. Kleisinger gets a piece of that, and it deflects wide. Into the corner, Hout fighting off with New Haven's player on the far side, Rob Whistle. Now it's loose in front, mad scramble, but picked up by Dan Brennan, who's able to just scoop one high in the air out the center. It's 1-0, New Haven having the lead. An early goal at 29 seconds by Jim Weimer. Here are the Indians. Caudice takes a hit. Has to spin back in his own into the rink and give one for Chris Pryor, who's recently been sent down by Minnesota. Now he's checked by Moria, and for another shot to score, Dave Nichols. After Moria let go the original shot, Taco made the save, and Nichols cruising in, put home a wrist shot, and it's 2-0 in favor of New Haven.
Things not looking good here at the outset of this hockey game for the Springfield Indians. With 16:58 remaining, here you're going to see the first shot taken by Moria. The rebound coming right out in the slot area. Nichols is untouched, cruises through and fires one home for the New Haven Nighthawks. Dave Nichols, who spent last season in the International Hockey League, picks up his second goal of the year. And there you see the score, New Haven 2, Springfield 0.
Last year, remember the Flint Generals of the International League. Here's play on the near side. Indians player on the near boards, and that's Roger Kortko. Here's Kortko, spins in front, shooting one right on, and Kleisinger kicks it aside. Kortko, another newcomer who is familiar to Indians fans from a year ago. Checked on the play, and the Hawks are able to clear one up the center ice and deep into the Springfield zone, where Pryor goes back. Here's Pryor, banks one on the near boards, out the center, and then the Hawks take over. It's 2-0. The Hawks have the lead, and in his own zone is Ken Hammond. Here is Hammond. Lead cross-ice pass into the Springfield zone. Taco sets it up on the far side. Now it's jammed up. Vern Smith runs into a Hawk player over there. Mad scramble. Finally, Kortko also jamming in there, and finally they freeze it on the far side. The scoring play for New Haven. Nichols his second from Steve Moria at 3:02.
Well, as mentioned, the Nighthawks with some new faces in the lineup here tonight. 6 players to be exact. Steve Duchesne, Simo Saarinen, Brock Treadway, Paul Gay, Mike Rogers, and Jim Dobson, who played last year with the Fredericton Express. All new to the New Haven roster. The Nighthawks having their problems and really have been shuffling players in and out, trying to find the answers for first-year coach Robbie Fedoruk. Thus far in this hockey game, a 2-0 lead. And, of course, for the Hawks, they have had plenty of changes, so have the Springfield Indians, and when we get a chance, as the puck is deflected up over the glass, we'll probably get a chance right here. The Indians have had their share of changes, Mike, with things shuffling in and shuffling out. The Springfield Indians have added some players to their roster, a couple of new ones. Defenseman Greg Levy on the ice right now, number 3. Levy is a 8-year pro, and he has been playing with the Minnesota North Stars, has been sent by the North Stars along with Chris Pryor. Defenseman began the year here in Springfield, and right wing Jim Archibald. Also, the New York Islanders have sent Roger Kortko, who played last year at the beginning of the season with the Indians, and defenseman Ken Leiter to the Springfield roster. So the Indians all still bolstered in the personnel department.
Now it's loose in front. Johannesson, a shot right on. Kleisinger makes a tremendous stop on Glenn Johannesson, who was stationed on the doorstep, and the Indians failed to cut the lead.
Glenn Johannesson, who of course was a defenseman for the majority of his career, has been playing up front of late and is on the left wing here. And here you see Don Biggs' turnaround shot. Johannesson looking to poke in the rebound. Kleisinger was there to cover up the loose puck, but Glenn Johannesson playing up front on this line with Don Biggs and Alan Kerr.
Here's Biggs, checked on the play by the Hawks defenseman Hammond, and then on left wing, speeding in across the line is the Hawk player on the near boards, Mike Rogers, but the whole play whistled down offside at the Springfield blue line.
Well, the Indians have some injuries, and they are as follows, with goaltender Mike Sands still suffering from that knee problem, and it looks like Sands might be back in action as early as next week. Also, defenseman Dave Jensen out with that stretched knee ligaments, and of course it looks like a 4 to 6 week situation with Jensen. Defenseman Gerald Diddick has a bruised foot, and he suffered that on Friday night. He is not in the lineup here tonight. And also George Servinas scratched from the action, and Ron Handy due to numbers.
On the far side, Terry Martin trying to clear out. Batted now by the Hawks into the near corner, or into the far corner rather, where Caudice back after it. Hawks into forecheck, but Caudice outlets for Terry Martin on the far boards. Martin fighting off with a Hawks player. Dan Brennan over there, and Caudice fighting for the loose puck. Mad scramble into the near corner. Taken by New Haven's Weimer at the point. His shot almost deflected in by Heath, but it ends up going wide of the net. Into the far corner. Hawks try and pinch one in front. Quick shot from the point, deflected wide. Now Weimer a drive, right on. And Taco is able to get down on all fours and make the stop as Weimer let go another shot from that left point.
Well, New Haven coming off a loss on Friday night at the hands of the Moncton Golden Flames, a home loss in New Haven. Seems like they've come out with vengeance here tonight and trying to get the early start on the Springfield Indians, who, after a fine performance on Friday night, seem to be caught by surprise with the New Haven Nighthawks taking control of the territorial play early on in this hockey game with 14:53 remaining here in the first period. The Nighthawks on top by a count of 2-0 goals by Jim Weimer and Dave Nichols.
The Hawks have won just one game in 1985-86 away from the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in New Haven, but they've jumped off to an early 2-0 lead, despite the fact they've only won one road game this year. Now it's cleared right back behind the net where the Indians take over, and Gord Shervin gives one on the near board for Paul Hout. He's checked on the play. Brennan for New Haven, centering one, but Terry Tate breaks it up on left wing. Leads to center ice for Gord Shervin. Back for Tate. Here's Tate dropping for Hout, back to Tate on the near boards. Here's Terry Tate for Springfield. Dropping one back, and the Indians have to spin in their own zone to hustle back in their own end of the rink. Here is Stewart for the Indians. Up the middle for Gord Shervin. Near side pass for Paul Hout. That pass fails to click, and Hammond in his own zone. Neat backhand pass for Bill O'Dwyer. Shovels ahead for Dan Brennan. He's too closely checked, and Stewart gets for Shervin in the clear. Moving and shoots. Oh, and he missed the net. Shervin closed in, but then shot wide. On right wing, the Hawks dump one. Whistle into the Springfield zone. Right on, and Taco sets it up for his own defense. It's 2-0. The Nighthawks have the lead here early in this first period. On the far boards, Hawks try and dump one through. Moria on the far side. He and Lacey collide. It's centered. Drop back to the point for Weimer, closing in. His shot missed the net. Henry on left wing for the Indians leads the rush back to center ice. A headman pass for Lacey. Lacey met at the Indians at the Nighthawks defense by Weimer, and the puck goes to center. Here's Pryor. Feeds for Vern Smith, who banks it off the boards into the near side. Lacey kicks at the loose puck for Roger Kortko. He takes a hit. Hawks try and clear up, but Kortko, always dangerous in the offensive zone. Dropping it back to Vern Smith, to Kortko at the top of the circle. Neat pass for Pryor, a shot! Deflected in front, Henry shoots wide. As the Indians pouring on the pressure in the Hawk zone, but unable to score. As New Haven's Rogers beats one, pass for Moria right in, oh, and Taco! A kick save as Moria and Rogers had a chance. Now on the far side, Hawks, Rogers trying to spin his way through, but Henry back checking, takes over in his own zone. It's 2-0 New Haven, but play is opening up a bit as Pryor feeds cross ice to center. Henry for Kerr. Kerr moving in, but checked off and poke checked to center, where Randy Heath is able to backhand one up to center. Here's newcomer Craig Levy. Cross ice for Ken Leiter, who scoops it in. In comes always hustling Don Biggs. He runs into Ken Hammond. Kerr also in there to forecheck. Trying to scoop the loose puck free, but the Hawks are able to clear one outside the line and into the center ice area. Here is Treadway clearing one through. In front of the net, shooting one, and out of the net, Taco to make the stop on Brock Treadway, who played a couple of years ago with New Haven and has been brought back here with all of the roster shuffling with New Haven.
And along with that roster shuffling, the Springfield Indians a big part of that, and on a couple of pass flurries, you saw Roger Kortko pass the puck for the Springfield Indians, wearing 17 in the Indians lineup here tonight. And of course, Kortko last season in 30 games with the Indians had 8 goals, 30 assists for 38 points, and 5'11", 175 pounds, was a 6th round pick by the New York Islanders in 1982. Very gifted as far as passing the puck, should help the Indians out offensively. Roger Kortko spending the entire season up until this point with the parent New York Islanders.
Face-off will be in the Indian zone as the play loose and finally taken by Springfield's Leiter. Edmonds to center ice, and Levy a long shot. That deflects up high over the glass and into the crowd. The fans seeing Craig Levy, who set an AHL record a few years back for most points by a defenseman.
Well, he's got a couple of American Hockey League records, Greg Levy does. Back in 1980-81 with Nova Scotia, he set a record for most points by a defenseman, 82, most assists, 62. In that season, he was a first-team All-Star and also won the Eddie Shore Trophy as the league's top defenseman. Was drafted on the 3rd round by Montreal back in 1979. Played 2 years with Nova Scotia, then claimed on waivers by Winnipeg, then was claimed by Minnesota, claimed again on waivers by St. Louis, and then this season claimed by Minnesota, where he played 12 games before being sent down. So he's been around, but very gifted offensively, Craig Levy.
Now Levy centers one, but checked away. Levy, who scored a couple of assists in his first game as a Springfield Indian. Now the Hawks are able to clear one up the center ice, where Levy has to hustle back in his own zone. The Hawks leading 2-0, but the Indians in control of the puck as Levy, a gifted playmaker, up the near side for Kerr. Kerr trying to spin through. Weimer is there. Now Levy, a shot, he scores! Greg Levy with a blast for the point. It may have been, I don't think so, deflected in front, but nonetheless the Indians have cut the lead. It's now 2-1.
Well, big goal here for Greg Levy, and of course, this is what he can give the Indians. Not only great defense, but very good offense for a defenseman, and he is making his presence felt at the early portions of his transaction down to the Springfield Indians. There you see him, 2 assists on Friday night, and here with that big slap shot, Klasinger well out of position, and before he knew it, the puck was in the net. First goal of the year as a member of the Springfield Indians for Greg Levy, and it's 2-1 New Haven.
Chance for the Hawks as they quickly move in, but Taco comes out to make the save on the Hawk player cutting in on the near side, and that was on the near side, Marty Dahlman. Now on the near boards, Hawks try and feed one in front. Quick centering pass to Shane, walking right in on goal. That's blocked off. Another shot, and shooting it high over the glass was, or over the net, excuse me, was Dahlman again. Now the Indians clearing one to center ice. 2-on-1 break for Springfield. Chance for the try. Quick centering pass for Archibald. He scores! Well, Terry Martin set up Jim Archibald, and the Indians have made it a 2-2 game as Archibald scores his first goal of the season. Not just with Springfield, he had been up with Minnesota, but scores his first to tie the game.
Well, a picture-perfect 2-on-1 break. Here's a playmaker, Terry Martin, top of your screen with the puck. Jim Archibald skating in freely along the wing, and all he had to do was bang it into the empty net. It was a picture-perfect pass from Terry Martin, who's playing outstanding hockey for the Springfield Indians, setting up Jim Archibald here to tie the game at 2 with 10:47 remaining in the first period.
And the Indians have come back with a vengeance here as Hammond clearing one for his own defense. It's a 2-2 game as the Hawks clear to center ice. Here in the neutral zone, Houck banks it off the boards, but New Haven have to go back. Here's Nichols trying to clear out, does on left wing, and here comes Bill O'Dwyer out of South Boston, Massachusetts. Deflects into the Springfield zone. Here is Houck for the Tribe, clearing one on right wing, and here's Shervin. Shervin on the attack, into the New Haven zone. Pulls up, surveys the traffic, centers in front for Houck, he scores! Paul Houck, and as quick as you can blink your eyes, the Indians have taken a 3-2 lead with Paul Houck putting home a shot into the top corner.
This is an offensive explosion here after the New Haven Nighthawks scoring the first 2 goals of this game. The Indians have come right back and exploded for 3 unanswered goals. Here's a beauty by Paul Houck. The Indians carrying the offensive play right here. Houck one times it, a beautiful shot past Klasinger, and an excellent feed along the boards by Gordy Shervin. 3-2 Springfield as they've regained the 1-goal lead.
Now play on the far side as the Indians have come back here. Mad scramble on the far boards, finally frozen there. And with some activity into the far corner, we'll have a face-off. So the Indians have done it here after trailing early 2-0, have come back and have taken this 3-2 lead. They currently announcing the assists on those scoring plays to the Springfield Indians here, who have really shown some spark and character in this first period. The scoring on that last goal, it was Shervin and Tate the assists at 9:43. It was Archibald from Martin and Housen at 9:13, and of course Levy scoring at 8:34 to cut the lead 2-1. So Levy, Archibald, and Houck in succession have given the Indians a 3-2 lead and 5 goals here. We haven't played over 10 minutes into this first period. Now on left wing, another chance for Springfield, but it's deflected wide. Here's Levy centering one in front. Quick backhand by Kortko. Misses the net. In his own zone for New Haven, and trying to clear it out is the player Saranen. Up the left side, does finally clear, and Dobson for New Haven, clearing into the Indian zone. Back after it for Springfield is Craig Levy. Clears to the point where Weimer takes over. Weimer fires one to the corner for Dobson, centers one back to the point. Saranen, who is from Helsinki, Finland, dumping it into the corner. He takes a hit. Hawks try and stuff one in front, loose to the side of the net. Dobson a shot. Stopped by Taco, but we're going to have a penalty on the play, our first of the night. It's going to be against Springfield. And I thought the whistle was going to blow and play continue, but finally Taco is able to come down and make the save. John, this has been a wild first 11 minutes and 52 seconds.
Well, it's been very wide open, and the Springfield Indians have to take a deep breath after that shot taken from the point was deflected on the way through and then went off the goalpost. We're going to have a holding penalty coming up to the Indians' Dale Henry with 9:08 remaining here in the first period. We've had plenty of offense thus far. The New Haven Nighthawks caught the Indians sleeping a little bit in the early portions of this period, scoring 2 goals. by Jim Weimer and Dave Nichols, but then it was the Indians coming right back and picking up 3 unanswered goals. Greg Levy, Jim Archibald, and Paul Houck scoring for the Tribe, and 2 great passing plays, one by Terry Martin on the Archibald goal, the other by Gordy Shervin on the goal by Houck, crediting the assist on both of those goals, and really the credit on both those goals goes to the people who fed the puck to both Archibald and Houck. Nonetheless, the Indians have that 3-2 lead.
Now the Hawks have the power play. The Indians have killed off 12 straight power play chances, with the opposition having the man advantage. Here are the Hawks on the near side, dropping one back to the point. Here is Saarinen, sliding one through on the far boards is the Hawks. Saarinen at the point, tees one up, gives it to Weimer. Weimer closing and shooting one, and it's deflected wide. Hawks down by a goal, 3-2. The Indians leading, but on the power play as Weimer slides one through on the near boards. Taking over and taking control of the puck is Gay as he drops one through on the near side. It's dropped back to Rogers now. Rogers dropping it back to the left point. Weimer a shot right on, and it's deflected wide of the net. Loose to the near boards. Rogers drops it back to Weimer a shot. Steered aside by Taco as the Hawks control it again. Here is Gay, a shot right on, but deflected wide. Another penalty coming up against Springfield as Stewart for the Tribe trying to make it out of there, and finally it's touched by an Indian, and we're going to have another penalty, John, I believe, against Springfield.
Well, the Indians' penalty killing unit is going to be put to the test once again. They were on Friday night in Binghamton in a 4-0 hockey game, though, at that point. Springfield, late in the third period, had to kill off a 5-on-3 advantage for the Binghamton Whalers. Of course, the pressure in this situation much more than it would be then. Don Biggs gets the gate here for Springfield with 8:08 remaining in the first period. Still 1 minute and 1 second remaining on the call to Dale Henry, so the Indians now for slightly over a minute are going to be 2 men short with Henry and Biggs in the box. Don Biggs gets the call for cross-checking, and we're going to see the New Haven Nighthawks who've been having problems. The Indians have been doing great killing off the power play, but now the Hawks have the definite advantage with a 5-on-3 manpower.
It's cross-checking, minor penalty as the Hawks have a 5-on-3. Here is O'Dwyer feeding to the point. Quick shot by Duchesne right on. Taco gets a piece of that. Here's Housen. Banks it off the boards, down the ice, and the Hawks have to go back. 44 seconds left in the Henry penalty. 1:40 remaining in Don Biggs' infraction. As New Haven, O'Dwyer banks it through back behind the net. Into the far corner, the puck is taken by Springfield, but not out. Hawks trying to clear it out of there, or hold it in rather, and finally tipped to the far side, and a penalty coming up against New Haven. A tripping call, which is going to nullify that 2-man advantage for New Haven.
Well, tripping is the call right here. Terry Martin, very pesky, killing off penalties. There you're going to see him at the top of your screen. And the player, Sundstrom, is going to get the call here as he trips up Martin from behind. Clear cut. Noeth was in position. He's out of your screen, but he was trailing the play and in perfect position to make the call. So what it does now is establish a situation where it'll be a 4-on-3 manpower, which of course really tightens things up for Springfield, much better than that 5-on-3. And then the Indians will have a slight power play once both of their penalties are up.
Play to the near side as it's cleared in, and the loose puck taken in the Hawks zone at the point. Here in the Indian zone as Duchesne feeds it cross ice in front. Whistle scores! Rob Whistle from close in with a beautiful wrist shot. And with 7:18 remaining first period, we're deadlocked at 3.
Well, the manpower advantage might have been cut, but the open ice is still there, and that's what prevails here in a 4-on-3 situation. Rob Whistle, property of the New York Rangers, gets the goal right here. Wrist shot from about 20 feet. He took the pass for cross ice and just snapped it home. Gary Taco in position there. Might have been a partial screen by Chris Pryor on the play. And it's a power play goal for New Haven, tying the score at 3. 7:18 remaining first period. Plenty of offense thus far. It's been an exciting game, but from a defensive standpoint, leaves a lot to be desired thus far in this hockey game on the part of both clubs. Still 1:10 remaining on the Biggs penalty, 1:45 to the Sundstrom call.
That's Whistle's first goal of the season, and to tie things at 3 as the loose puck taken by Springfield in their own zone. Here is the Springfield player. Shervin feeds it cross ice on the far side and up the center ice. Leiter, long shot right on. Stick save by Kleisinger. Loose in front. Rebound deflected wide. Here's Houck on the near boards, circling to make a play. Runs into the New Haven player, Rob Whistle, and the Hawks can't get it out. Held in by Springfield with the teams at even strength at this point. Houck also in there to forecheck, but the Hawks are able to take control. And Rogers dumps it back in his own end of the ring. Here are the Hawks now taking control. Up the center ice is Rogers. He and Shervin collide. Loose in the neutral zone as Hammond twists and turns. moves into the Springfield zone, wrists one wide. On the far side, puck bounces off the backboards all the way to center, and the Hawks drop it back. We're deadlocked at 3. There have been 6 goals in this first period, as the Indians dump one into the near corner, and then Kleisinger leaves it free. On the near boards, they fight for the loose puck, and finally they clear one off the boards all the way down into the Springfield end of the rink. Levy for Springfield back after it. As he touches it, icing is called against New Haven. The scoring play, by the way, it was Rob Whistle, his first, from Duchesne and Heath at 12 minutes and 52 seconds into this first period, a power play goal.
Power play goal it is, and with 32 seconds remaining on the penalty to Sundstrom, the Indians now will enjoy a power play for a brief period of time, but with the face-off coming up in the New Haven end, it gives them a chance to muster something, and that power play has been clicking of late for the Springfield Indians. 6:05 remaining here in the first period. We haven't gotten to Tribe Trivia yet, but we will. We've had plenty of action.
Lucky for me, right?
I guess, but we've had plenty of action, Mike. You can't ask for any more. 3-3, the Hawks and the Indians.
Here's Stewart to Cowdice, feeds for Alan Kerr. Kerr on the far boards, drops for Cowdice to Kerr as the Indians try and make a play. Here's Kerr with the Indians on the power play briefly, have control at the point. Cowdice trying to make a play, spins for Stewart, but that pass fails to click, and Moria is able to backhand one off the boards into the Springfield zone. Here's Cowdice, checked in the play by Moria. Moria, as the Hawks waste time, finally coming out of the penalty box is Sundstrom, and the team's at even strength. It's cleared now all the way into the Springfield zone. Stewart back after it as he touches it, icing called, and the play will come all the way back into the New Haven zone.
Well, if we have an opportunity to see that Tribe Trivia, let's see if we can get it on the screen here. And here it is with 5:23 remaining first period. Who was the last Springfield Indian to score on a penalty shot? Who was the last Springfield Indian to score on a penalty shot?
Ooh, I remember one with Alain Lemieux having an opportunity, but he missed. That was the last one that I recall. That was in Rochester a couple of years back, but I don't think it's been since I've been here, but I'll see if I can venture a guess somehow. Here are the Hawks clearing one on right wing, dipping into the Springfield zone with the clock showing 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in this first period. We've had 6 goals already. At the point, Hammond a shot. That's blocked, picked up by Springfield, and here comes Archibald. Pass cross ice for Housen. Housen trying to move around Whistle. Whistle steers him aside. Big scramble back behind the net, finally taken by New Haven. In their own zone and taking over in the left side area is Peter Sundstrom. Sundstrom from the New York Rangers organization, flipping one through a quick backhander, and it's deflected wide. Into the near side it goes. Hawks take control. They quickly try and move it for Duchesne. Loose in front, Patako comes out and pounces on top of the loose puck in front of the goal.
Well, the Indians will swing into action this weekend at the Springfield Civic Center, December 13th and 14th. The Nova Scotia Oilers, a back-to-back series with them on Friday and Saturday nights starting at 7:30. Friday nights will be another Toys for Tot night here at the Springfield Civic Center. Bring an unwrapped toy to the center and receive a coupon good for free admission with the purchase of a full-price ticket. The December 21st game between the Indians and the Fredericton Express. And then Saturday night, 60-minute team pitcher night here with the first 1,000 fans receiving Indians team pitchers, and then after the game, an autograph and pitcher taking session with the Springfield Indians.
Play into the Springfield zone where Ken Leiter has control of the loose puck, and now we're going to have a penalty back of the play called by Mike Nowith, and I believe it's going to be against Springfield, and I believe Craig Levy going to be whistled down.
Interference is the call on defenseman Craig Levy. Off the puck right here. If we're going to get an opportunity to see it on replay, we're just going to have to wait and see. Greg Levy gets the gate for Springfield. He picks up a goal in this hockey game, and this could be crucial for Springfield right now with New Haven going on the power play in the 3-3 hockey game. Could give them an opportunity to take that 1-goal lead. The Hawks have a lot more offensive punch than they've had throughout this season with the additions of players like Paul Gay and Mike Rogers, who are out there right now up front for New Haven. They can really put the puck in the net. Rogers, of course, this season, the beginning of the year, was sent to New Haven along with Steve Richmond and Nick Fatiu. Fatiu, the player I could not recall during our pregame show, but he was up with the New York Rangers for a couple of weeks, but now has since been sent down by Ted Sater on the power play for New Haven.
Here's Weimer, a shot. Pad save, Taco, loose in front, and finally picked up by Lacey for the Indians. Good shot from the point again by the Hawks player, Weimer. Now it's loose and fought for near side. Moria tries to center one in front for Duchesne. Again, it's scrambled up and finally centered to the point. Weimer, a shot. He missed the net. And Weimer's been shooting whenever he gets an opportunity, and it's cleared all the way down. Levy for interference. The time of the penalty, 15:36. 3:48 left first period. We're tied at 3. A minute and 22 seconds left in the Levy penalty as Courtco in his own zone banks one off the boards all the way down, and the Hawks have to go back. In his own zone is Steve Duchesne for New Haven. Cuts in his own end of the rink and feeds for Peter Sundstrom at center ice. Here's Sundstrom. Twists and turns as he moves into the Springfield zone. Goes into the corner. Checked by Vern Smith as they fight for the loose puck into the corner. Now Heath for New Haven. Circles, tries to center one in front, but finally taken by Springfield. And Archibald feeds it on the left side for Martin, who banks it off the boards into the New Haven zone, and the Hawks have to go back. Here's Sundstrom. Takes a hit from Martin and Archibald. Archibald tries to center one, but finally taken away from him, and the Hawks clear one to the center ice area. In his own zone is Marty Dahlman. Dahlman slapping one off the skate of Terry Martin into the near corner. Hawks try and center one, but Archibald for Springfield trying to get it out. Dahlman picks it off. Dahlman feeds cross ice to the point. O'Dwyer banks it off the boards to Sundstrom back behind the net. He and Archibald fight for the loose puck. It's fed back to the point. Here are the Hawks. Saarinen trying to move it through. Loose between the circles, and finally Archibald, with just 8 seconds left in the penalty, clears the zone, and the Hawks have to go back. In his own end of the rink is Simo Saarinen, who is seeing his first action for New Haven this season. Clearing one ahead to center ice, and here is Randy Heath. Neat cross-ice pass for Dave Nichols, who angling into the Springfield zone. Here's Nichols, roughed up by Leiter, and finally Houck for the Tribe, clears to center, and the Hawks have to go back. Now Whistle clears one off of Noeth, and here is Kaudice for Springfield. Pass for Shervin in the clear. Shoots right on, and Kleisinger gets a piece of that. Into the corner. Indians try and center one, but the Hawks are able to clear one off the boards to center, and the Indians bank one right back. In his own zone and clearing the center is Hammond, who deflects into the Springfield end of the rink, where Levy back after it for the Tribe. Here is Craig Levy with a minute and 44 seconds left first period. For Houck, lead cross-ice pass for Kaudice. Pulls up, tries to feed for Houck, centering one, but nobody there as Shervin was tripped up, and the referee Noeth watches it impassively. Now to center ice. The loose puck is finally taken by Springfield Shervin, who spins back in his own zone. Shervin feeds it cross ice as the Indians on the attack. Here is Smith for the Tribe. Tries to center one, but picked off by Rogers, who spins back in his own zone and leaves it for Saarinen. Simo Saarinen, the Finnish defenseman, ahead for Ken Hammond. Hammond comes to center and shoots one in. A knuckleball shot deflected away by Taco. Just over a minute remaining first period as the team scramble for it on the near side. Finally, it's tipped to center, and New Haven have to go back. In his own zone is Weimer. Feeds it cross ice for his own defense, and now up to center ice is Simo Saarinen for Weimer. Weimer deflects it into the Springfield zone, where Bill Stewart back after it for the Tribe, and Stewart able to clear up the middle for Biggs, who deflects one into the Nighthawks zone. Big Jim Weimer back after it for New Haven. Weimer, who played with Buffalo and New York of the NHL, but it was tipped in front by Springfield, but Kleisinger deflects it away. Now into the Springfield zone. The Hawks work it in, but it's offside at the Springfield blue line with just 28 seconds left first period. Each team 3 goals.
The Hawks have had the offense here tonight, but are hurting in that category. 2 of their top 3 scorers are on recall to the National Hockey League. Brian Erickson to Los Angeles, Dave Gagne to the New York Rangers. Randy Heath is the top scorer, but this week they also lost their leading scorer, Dave Gans. Gans in an interesting deal. The Los Angeles Kings bought out the contract of Len Hackborn from the Philadelphia organization, and then Gans, who is LA property, was then loaned to Hershey. Now he's playing in Hershey and is still property of the Los Angeles Kings, but it does hurt the Nighthawks offensively.
Here's a play into the Nighthawks zone, but Martin trapped in there offside with 20 seconds remaining in this first period.
Well, from an offensive standpoint, there's been plenty of action in an entertaining game for the fans, a 3-3 hockey game, but I'm sure both coaches do want to change a few things defensively. There's been some lapses in either team's end, and the goals have come in bunches in this hockey game. The Indians fell behind early by 2, but have really shown the heart to fight back. New Haven's been equal to the task also, but defensively both teams will make adjustments between periods.
Levy banks it off the boards with just 14 seconds remaining. Hawks in their own zone just waste some time and work out of there. Here's Hammond trying to clear, held in by Levy. Levy closing right in on goal, shoots off the post. Levy could have given the Indians the lead. Now he winds it back for Housen, but the buzzer sounds signaling the end of the first period, and a very, very wide open affair in the first 20 minutes, with each team netting 3 tallies.
Greg Levy, an excellent chance there at the tail end of the period, and you mentioned wide open. Levy was allowed to walk right in for about a 30-foot blast that tested Kleisinger. and of course it hit the side of the net, but Greg Levy picked up a goal in that first period, and the Indians had the offense, scoring 3 times. Jim Archibald and Paul Houck scoring the other goals for Springfield. The New Haven Nighthawks have picked up 3 goals in this hockey game also, with Jim Weimer scoring early on, Dave Nichols getting the other, and the other goals for New Haven scored by Rob Whistle, and that's where we stand right now, tied at 3 after 1.
31 shots on goal in the first frame, 16 by Springfield and 15 for New Haven. We'll be back with our between periods activities, including a look at what's happening in the American Hockey League in just a moment.
Heard any tasty rumors lately? Some are pretty hard to swallow.
Don't eat fat and you can live to be 100.
Really? And she says anyone can stay slim if they cut out starchy foods. Really?
Protein, baby. Just protein.
Really?
The truth is, a smart diet is a balanced diet of dairy foods, meats, fruits and vegetables, and grains. So don't be fooled by fads. Eat smart.
Really?
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Mike Burrick alongside John Forslund. For fans who like offense, they got all of it in that first 20 minutes.
Well, they sure did. You know, a lot of offense with 6 goals scored, Mike, but defensively, I'm sure both coaches searching for some answers after that first period of play. A lot of close-in chances for both teams, something that both coaches would not like to see. And, of course, for the Springfield Indians, caught a little bit back on their heels early on in this game, showing a lot of heart to come back and regain the lead, but far from over, and an exciting, wild one thus far, 3-3.
We've had some close scoring affairs, low scoring ones on Continental Cablevision this season, but tonight, for the fans who like offense, they're getting all of it here tonight. John, so many things going on in the AHL. Let's get right to what's happening. First, a look at the Northern Division of the AHL.
Well, here you see it. The Adirondack Red Wings continue to hold first place, but not as much as they've had in weeks past. There you see the gap has been closed by the Maine Mariners, just 1 point behind. And, Mike, the Maine Mariners have turned it on there. Adirondacks had some player movements, losing Claude Loisel and Lane Lambert, a couple of players that they've been relying on this year offensively, and Maine has closed the gap.
Talking about that, but Mark LaForest, who is 9-0, is up top with Parent Detroit. He picked up a victory in his first encounter in the National Hockey League. He beat the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's take a look at what's happening in the Southern Division. There you see the Rochester Americans on top, and boy, what a discrepancy when you consider first and last place. Rochester going 8-2 in their last 10, and at the other end of the scale, Baltimore 0-10-1 in their last 11. Gene Ubriaco's got to be just going crazy down in Baltimore.
They've definitely lost a step from last year, no doubt about it. The Baltimore Skipjacks at the bottom of the rung, where a lot of people felt they would not be this season, no doubt about it. But look at the Hershey Bears. They have closed the gap on Rochester, and they are proving to be one of the top clubs in that Southern Division. The Indians will see Hershey on Wednesday night. That's shaping up to be a great game on the road in Hershey. But for the Hershey Bears, they could have a strong unit there, and by season's end could find themselves at the top.
They just picked up David Gans, who was New Haven's leading scorer in a deal with Len Hackborn, the former Indian, who goes from the organization of Philadelphia up with the Los Angeles Kings of the NHL. Let's take a look at what's happening as far as the scoring is concerned. And you see that battle once again with Alan Kerr and Don Biggs for the scoring lead for the Springfield Indians. But Terry Martin has come alive. He has a 4-game streak and has been playing well offensively.
Terry Martin, outstanding work here tonight. You saw him pass a puck to Jim Archibald, setting up his goal. Gordy Shervin also is a player that over a period of time, if he's here in Springfield, will also work his way up into that unit right there. But there you see it. Those have been the familiar names that have been near the top for most of this season, but Terry Martin, you'd have to say of late, has turned it on. Scott Housen also has a 4-game scoring streak going with 3 goals, 2 assists, and 5 points in that period, so Housen hasn't had the games played as the others have, but the Indians are getting the balanced scoring and great play from Martin.
Let's take a look at what's happening in the American Hockey League. There you see Wes Jarvis of St. Catharines again leading, Darrell Evans of Binghamton second, Paul Gardner third, and then Hackborn, as we mentioned, he was playing very well offensively for Hershey, and I'll tell you, he was noticed there by Los Angeles, who having their problems, and they went right after the former Springfield Indians.
Well, some of the sources around the league have said that Len Hackborn and Philadelphia coach Mike Keenan just did not see eye to eye, and the Los Angeles Kings might pick up, as the fans know in Springfield, very good offensive performer in Len Hackborn when he was here a couple of years back. so it could be a fine for them. But West Jarvis pulls away on top for the St. Catharines Saints, really having a big year.
Let's take a look at what's happening as far as the Indians' upcoming schedule. 3 games on tap, and the fans, John, will have a chance to see the Nova Scotia Oilers. If they don't catch them Friday night, they have a chance on Saturday evening. But that's after that big game on Wednesday night in Hershey.
Well, it shapes up as a good week for the Springfield Indians on the road in Hershey, which, as we mentioned, should be an outstanding game. Then Nova Scotia from the Northern Division. And whenever you play a club on back-to-back nights, you never know what's going to happen. And this is what could take place next weekend, with Nova Scotia coming in, a couple of promotions on both those nights, another Toys for Tots night on Friday night, and then Saturday night, team pitcher night, Russell 60-minute photo team pitcher night. The fans get a team pitcher on the way in, and then at the end of the game get a chance to pick up some autographs and some pictures with their favorite Indians.
I hope you're enjoying the action so far as much as John and I are enjoying bringing it to you. The score after 1, the Springfield Indians 3, the New Haven Nighthawks 3. More coming right up in just a moment.
Whether you're 25 or 65, your body and bones are constantly changing. Yet most of us don't get the calcium our bodies need. That can lead to brittle bones or osteoporosis. You can do something about it by getting calcium from dairy foods and dark green leafy vegetables, eliminating smoking, and exercising regularly. It'll help your bones last a lifetime.
Welcome back, everyone. We're between periods 1 and 2 here in Springfield Indians hockey with our score, the Springfield Indians 3 and the New Haven Nighthawks 3. My guest, one of the off-ice officials at every Springfield Indians home game, official club statistician Dick Casey. And Dick, welcome aboard, and you have been a fixture here as far as the Springfield Indians are concerned for many, many years. Why don't you tell the fans exactly how long has it been and how you got started in your capacity here working for the Springfield Indians?
It's been a little over 20 years. And the reason I first came to a hockey game, my brother had a free ticket. So he took me in ever since that day.
And from that point on, you decided that this is what you'd like to do. It's somewhat of a side job, and what a great way to take in the game of hockey. But as you know, what you do up here in the press box, and we're going to get to it, is an awful lot of work for the club.
It sure is. It's you don't get to watch a hockey game as a fan anymore.
Let's go now and talk about that trade of yours, being the team statistician. Exactly what does that entail? Your work for the American Hockey League as far as what goes on in the press box and what your actual duties are.
Well, my duties are to keep every shot on goal by both teams, keep track of who's on the ice, keep track of when they pull a goalie, another man gets on the ice, you have to keep track of who's on the ice at all times.
Now, this is a job that around the league, Dick, some teams have 3 people doing. How do you do it with just one pair of eyes there? How can you maintain all of that? Is it just from your years of experience, or how do you do it?
I just keep a pad alongside of me, and I just keep scratching numbers off and putting numbers on, do the best I can. I've been to Glen Falls where they had 4 people doing the same job. I would like some help. I mean, it would come in handy. Sometimes my son next to me, he'll keep track if I'm writing down a goal, and he'll tell me somebody went on the ice, and
now some
help.
Some of the fans might not realize what you have to do is just watch every player that touches the puck so you can weed out the assists when a goal is scored. And sometimes, as far as the players are concerned, that can be a touchy subject because they need those points and they love the goals and assists, and there's sometimes a discrepancy.
Oh yes, we've had a couple mad at me and stuff like this, but like I tell them, I said, you'll get them when you earn them, and that's the only way you can go and get your points. And I do the best I can. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to miss a few. Some the fans aren't going to agree with me.
The shots on goal rule now. Some fans might not, just new to the game, or some of the fans who've been watching the game for a period of time might not understand. They might say, hey, there's a shot on goal, and sometimes it isn't. Why don't you explain exactly what constitutes a shot on goal?
Shot on goal is any shot that is shot by the opposing team that if the goalie hadn't stopped it, would have went in the net. That constitutes a shot on goal.
How about a shot that hits the post?
No, that's not a shot on goal because it wouldn't have went in regardless.
So in other words, the goaltender has to make that save, and then you're going to have to take it from there.
Right. He has to be the one that, if he hadn't stopped and it would have went in, then it's a shot on goal.
Dick, as far as you are concerned, what is probably the strangest occurrence you have seen throughout your career here in the American Hockey League over some 20 years? What has been one of the strangest things you've seen?
Well, one of the funniest things, the strangest, is when we were back there in the Coliseum with the Indians, Roger Cody was a defenseman. And he was strange because he used to play hockey with a toothpick in his mouth at all times. And he was a terrific defenseman, and a lot of people don't know. He always played with a toothpick in his mouth, always.
It's amazing, and of course today the players with the mouth guards and the face shields and everything, you're not going to see too many players in the game of hockey with a toothpick. Could be dangerous. You mentioned your son Rick, Dick, and of course he's working alongside you upstairs. What are his capacities? It's become a family affair up here in the press box.
Well, he's doing a team statistician for the coach. He goes down before each period, and the coach tells him what he wants him to do. He keeps track of the giveaways, the centers, who gets to play, and everything else. And he's got a tough job too. He's got to keep track too, and he also gives the assist.
Does he also keep track of maybe face-offs, won and lost? Does he do that?
All the face-offs, won and lost. At one time, for the old coach, we used to do the hits. He used to have to keep track of the hits and everything else.
Really, it becomes a scientific procedure up here, and with a cat's eye, you have to keep involved with it. And Dick, you must love your work, because game after game, season after season, you're back up here with the press box area of the Springfield Indians, so it must be the love of the game and everything else about it that keeps you going.
It sure does. After over 20 years, I think I've missed 15 games.
It's been yeoman-like work, Dick, and we'd like to thank you for stopping by, and of course wish you luck for many more years of service to both the American Hockey League and the Springfield Indians. And from the Springfield Indians management, we just like to say thanks a lot for all you've done. Just like every one of the minor officials, sometimes they call them, I like to say off ice, because it's major work that you do.
Thank you, and I appreciate you having me on.
Dick Casey has been our guest between periods. He is the official statistician for the Springfield Indians, the American Hockey League here. A big job, and I tell you, Dick does an outstanding one at that. We'll be back with more action, second period action between the New Haven Nighthawks and the Springfield Indians right after this.
If you're an investor, here's an important telephone number from Charles Schwab and an important message.
I worked hard for my money, and I want my money's worth when I buy or sell stocks. That's why I use Charles Schwab, the #1 discount broker. I make my own investment decisions, so I like Schwab's policy of no sales pressure, no advice, and no passing judgment on my buy or sell decisions. I like saving up to 76% on commissions compared to what full commission brokers charge. And I like getting services you wouldn't expect from a discount broker. Fast, accurate transactions, clear monthly statements. I'd say I get more than my money's worth with Charles Schwab.
I'm Charles Schwab. You'll like our low commissions, our convenience, and our quality service. That's a promise.
For a free booklet.
Welcome back, everybody. Mike Barrack with John Forstland. We played one period here at the Springfield Civic Center. Each team, the Springfield Indians and the New Haven Nighthawks, have put 3 goals on the boards, and it's been a wide-open game in the first 20 minutes. We'll see if things continue here in period 2 in a battle of Southern Division rivals. Play as it's underway, and back after it, Chris Pryor for Springfield. Spins back in his own zone and leads a pass on the near boards for Glenn Johannesson. Up the middle for Alan Kerr, who deflects one all the way into the New Haven zone. Kerr in after it to try and forecheck, gives for Biggs on the far side. Runs into Brock Treadway into the far corner. In after it is Johannesson for Springfield. Dropped for Pryor. Pryor back behind the net for Biggs, who centers one, but right under the stick of Brock Treadway. But the Indians do a good job of forechecking. We're just underway second period as it's deflected up high over the glass into the crowd along the near boards.
Well, we have a little jam up along the near side. We're going to have to see if anything develops from here. We've had no action of this nature so far in this hockey game. There you see the linesman Bill Daubman, Bill Morrissey stepping in to break things up. And, of course, the Springfield Indians parent clubs, as usual, in action this week. Tonight, the Minnesota North Stars at home to take on the New Jersey Devils. Later in the week, the Pittsburgh Penguins will be at Nassau Coliseum on Long Island to take on the Islanders on Tuesday night. And the only other game, Wednesday night, Minnesota at Detroit. That's what the Indians' parents will be doing this week as we follow their play.
Play will be in the New Haven zone. Face-off coming up to the right of Kleisinger. Playing to Wayne Duchesne in his own end of the rink. He's a rookie out of the Quebec Junior Hockey League. Indians in a forecheck, quickly center one. Pinching in for Springfield and shooting one wide is the player on the far side for Springfield, Levy. Now at the point, Leiter a shot. That deflects in front and cleared outside the line all the way to center and the Indians have to go back. Second period action, we're tied at 3. We played a minute into this second stanza. As it's quickly centered, but Leiter breaks up a pass, and Housen leads up the middle for Terry Martin. Didn't see the pass coming, and the Hawks clear it back into the Springfield zone. Here's Scott Housen, leads a rush into the New Haven zone. Housen pulls up, drops for Archibald, shoots off the post. Now to the point, Leiter for Springfield. Clearing back behind the net for Housen, hops over his stick, and the rookie Rob Whistle for New Haven clears one on the near side. Leiter for the Tribe, trying to hold it in. Gives it free on the near side for Martin. From a sharp angle, his shot deflects wide of the net, and Rogers for New Haven is able to pick an opening and clear to center. In the neutral zone, it's cleared right back into the New Haven end of the rink, and the puck goes over the glass and into the crowd.
Continuity is such an important part of the game of hockey, especially dealing with line combinations. And here at the minor league level, sometimes a coach has his hands full when he's trying to keep line combinations together, and Fred Creighton seems to have 2 lines that are clicking very well. The line out there right now of Gord Shervin, Terry Tate, and Paul Houck has been together now for a couple of weeks. They've been working quite well, and as a unit have been performing offensively. And also the line previous to this, Scott Housen with Terry Martin and Jim Archibald. That threesome also producing the offense for Springfield.
Play going into the Springfield zone where Caudice tries to clear for Houck. Hawks in a forecheck and try and make a play at the side of the net. Loose in front, quick backhander, and it deflects wide. On the near side, Tate for the Tribe, who's playing left wing. Up on right wing now for Bill Stewart. Lead pass for Shervin. On the other passing play to Houck, but it's dropped back for Caudice, who leads up to center ice for Houck. Hammond tips it away, and on left wing comes Dahlman for New Haven. Marty Dahlman trying to make a play. Gives it free on the near side, still maintains control. Takes a hit on the play it's fought for. On the near side, Indians trying to get it out of there, and Tate gives for Paul Houck. Lead pass on left wing for Shervin. Shervin is tipped off the loose puck. Shervin then spun around by Whistle. Back into the corner, Houck for Springfield. Tries to center one, but Whistle takes it off his stick and taps on the near side for Dahlman, who clears to center. 17 minutes, 20 seconds left second period. Each team with 3 goals is on right wing. Roger Kortko on the attack. Centers to Henry, right in a goal, shoots. Owen Kleisinger makes the save. Kleisinger slid out way before Henry even shot that puck, but Henry still shot it right at the New Haven netminder. Now in his own zone for Springfield is Lacey. He can't get it out of there. Hawks O'Dwyer closing through. His shot deflects wide. Back to the point as the Hawks try and clear one into the corner. Here's Sundstrom for New Haven. Tied up and all over him is Chris Pryor, who bear hugs him and then clears up to center ice for Kortko to Henry. The play is onside as Henry moving in. Wrist shot right on Kleisinger, the save. And with Kortko buzzing right out in front, the play is whistled down.
Noeth with a couple of quick whistles in this hockey game that time really blew the whistle as soon as Kleisinger seemed to tie that puck up. Dale Henry with a couple of scoring chances. You're going to see it again right here. Here's Henry coming across the line with newcomer Roger Kortko. Henry waits, holds that puck, tries to draw the defender toward him, then lets the shot go. There's Kleisinger covering up the puck, and there you see it right at the feet of Roger Kortko coming loose. Noeth right on the play, blew the whistle extremely fast. Dale Henry hit the goalpost prior to that after receiving a great pass from Kortko, and that's his niche, Roger Kortko. Great passing the puck, and for a centerman, you can't ask for more. He's a playmaker.
Face-off will be in the New Haven zone. Kortko with Henry, and also for the Tribe is Gary Lacey. Loose in front, but blocked down there, and the Hawks on a 3-man rush to center. Here is the New Haven player, Simo Saarinen, banking one off the boards. It's fought for in the neutral zone, and Kortko spins back, but the whole play whistled down offside.
16:24 remaining in the second period, and one of the most popular promotions in the Springfield Indians repertoire will be on January 3rd, 1986. Start the new year off right as the Springfield Indians take on the Hershey Bears, and the world-famous San Diego Chicken makes his appearance right here at the Springfield Civic Center. Last season, the Chicken thrilled 7,602. It was a club record as far as attendance is concerned, and this year with a new act looks to do the same. Tickets are going fast, so get them now. January 3rd, the Indians versus Hershey, and the world-famous Chicken in town, brought to you by the people at Roy Rogers Restaurants.
Here's Kerr trying to move through, but blocked off by Saarinen. Now Kerr centers for Johannesson. He deflects it, but Kleisinger gets a piece of that. Kerr, Johannesson, and also Biggs is the forward line for Springfield as Kleisinger clears, but the Indians hold it in. Levy deflects it into the corner, and then Weimer clears to the left side. Indians, Leiter tries to hold in, gives for Biggs into the near corner. Biggs tries to backhand one in front. Saarinen knocks it down. It's centered, but the Hawks are right there to break it up. On left wing to center ice is Dan Brennan moving through. Brennan shooting one. A sharp angle drive deflected away by Taco. On the near side, Indians try and clear it out of there. on the near side. Whistle a shot, deflected away by Taco, and the Indians, Johannesson in his own zone. On right wing for Kerr. He's chucking the play. Loose between the circles as the Hawks. Weimer tries to backhand one through, then shoots one, but blocked off there by Kerr, who shoots the center. Here is Rob Whistle, who hails from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Clears to the Indians line and broken up by Levy. Ahead for Biggs, has Kerr on the left. Here's Biggs closing in front, backhander. Oh, and it's deflected wide. The net goes off its moorings, and on top of it, we're going to have a penalty on the play.
Well, I believe it's going to be interference to Jim Dobson right here as he was back-checking on the play. A 2-on-1. Alan Kerr streaking in. Whistle, the lone defender for New Haven. Biggs had the puck, and if we see a replay on this, watch Alan Kerr coming into your screen from the bottom portion. There he is streaking and heading for the goal. Dobson, in his effort to tie up Kerr, Biggs was looking to pass the puck off, knocked him down from behind, and Kerr went toppling into the goalpost. The penalty coming up here to Jim Dobson, who spent last year with the Fredericton Express, just acquired by New Haven. He gets the call for interference to put the Indians on the power play with 15-11 remaining here in the second period.
This the Indians' second power play chance of the night. On the season, Springfield 26 power play goals, 22.4% with the man advantage, already 4 power play goals against New Haven at a 30% clip with the man advantage against the Hawks this year. The penalty goes to Dobson at 4:49, and the Indians will have the man advantage. It's a holding infraction to Dobson. Play on the far side. Indians try and pinch in. Here's Housen in the far corner with Springfield on the man advantage. Here is Kaudice back for Housen, shooting one right on, and Kleisinger gets a piece of that. It's fought for, and finally the puck is held at the side of the net, and the faceoff will come up in the New Haven zone.
Well, that last penalty, one of the plays in which a referee, as you see Mike Nolick from behind, there he is. One of those situations where a referee can call either or in that situation. Dobson, of course, had Kerr. Kerr did not have possession of the puck and was knocked down. That's why I thought it might have been interference, but also he had him tied up and had the hold on him. And with the grasp on Alan Kerr, Dobson gets the call for holding. The Indians plenty of time to muster some little firepower here on the goaltender Kleisinger. Minute 43 on the penalty to Dobson.
Now play going into the Springfield zone where Taco sets it up on the far side for Kaudice. Kaudice tips to center, and then in his own zone, Rogers dropping it through, and then it's deflected all the way down. The Indians have to go back. Springfield having Archibald, along with Scott Housen and Terry Martin, the forward line up front. On this power play, Jim Kaudice and Bill Stewart, the point men. As Martin at center ice twists and turns, dipsy doodles in the neutral zone, drops it back for Kaudice, who tips ahead on the right wing side for Archibald, who backhands one off the boards into the New Haven zone. Back after it for New Haven is Whistle. He tries to clear it out. Stewart holds it in. Feeds it back into the near corner for Scott Housen. Here's Housen for the Indians. Surveys the traffic. Feeds side of the net for Stewart. Here's Stewart now as he eyes the traffic. Drops for Martin at the left point. Martin clearing one back behind the net as the Indians try and center for Archibald, who's stationed in front. Now Archibald gets for Housen. Stuffs one through, but Kleisinger gets a piece of that. Makes the stop as Housen darted from behind the net, tried to stuff it home.
Looked like there was an opening, but Kleisinger got over there in plenty of time. Here you're going to see it again from behind the net. Archibald goes in to get the puck. Watch it squirt loose to Housen. He's stationed at the top portion of your screen, and there you see the pad coming over, and the New Haven goaltender just getting a piece of it as Housen took it on the backhand, trying to drop one home. He scored 2 goals on Friday night in a 4-0 victory over the Binghamton Whalers, and Housen has 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points in his last 4 games, riding that 4-point goal game consecutive scoring streak, and that time was looking to pick up his 4th goal in 6 games, but he was thwarted by Kleisinger.
Face-off will be in the circle to the left of the New Haven goaltender as Houck drops it back to the point. Indians hold it in. Here's Levy back into the near corner, into the far corner rather, for Shervin. Shervin has Houck now to make a play. Houck on the near boards, back for Shervin as the Indians work in the New Haven zone. Leiter feeds it cross ice for Levy in front for Houck. Wrists one wide. Rogers can't get it out. Indians hold it in. Into the far side. Shervin trying to make a play, and then it's cleared right back into the far side. Indians towards Shervin trying to make a play as he spins to work it back to the point. Levy closing through. Here's Levy, a drive. Oh, and that deflects wide. Here is Leiter for Springfield trying to move it through, but the Hawks are able to clear one into the neutral zone, and the Indians have to go back. 13 minutes, 10 seconds left second period. The game is tied at 3. The Indians fail to score with the man advantage as Dobson is back on. Here's Leiter. Lead pass to center. Fought for, but Moria in the neutral zone leaves it for his own defense, and then the Hawks clear one into the Springfield zone. In his own end of the rink is Ken Leiter. Leiter for the Tribe gets away from the forechecking of Dave Nichols and then leads a rush on left wing. Passes for Terry Tate. Neat pass to Shervin, who cuts right in and goal. Shoots! Oh, and a beautiful glove save by Kleisinger. Now Shervin, as he still maintains control, wheeling to the left point for Vern Smith. Wrists one through, blocked off by Duchesne. Here's Smith trying to make a play. Gets for Tate. He wrists one through the goal crease. Pryor holding on. Pryor trying to make a play. Karam's off the backboards in front to the point where Vern Smith gives it free. Back to the right point for Gord Shervin. He clears one back behind the net, but the Hawks take over, but Springfield's Henry in a forecheck. The Indians doing an excellent job in buzzing in the New Haven zone. Centers one from Henry to Courtco, but blocked off there and cleared all the way to center and deep into the Indian zone. 12 minutes and 3 seconds left second period. 6 goals in the first period, 3 by each team, and that's where we are here midway through period 2 as the Hawks take over in their own end of the rink. Here is Whistle backhanding one off the boards to center, and then Vern Smith covers up for Springfield. He clears one now down the ice. Hammond hustling back after as he touches an icing call. Face-off will come back into the Springfield zone.
Have 11:38 remaining here in the second period. This game tied at 3. All the scoring coming in the second period, and plenty of offense has been the situation thus far. 3 goals scored by both teams, all in the first period.
11 minutes, 38 seconds left second period. Face-off will come into the circle to the left of the Indians' goal, and Terry Taco. Taco, who has gone 4 wins and 2 losses in his last 6 contests, a 3.75 goals against average, but a very, very, very good 91.7% save percentage in the last 6 games as play is whistled down on a hand pass from one Nighthawk player to another. Face-off will then now come outside the line and into the neutral zone. 11 minutes, 34 seconds left. Keisha just joined us. It was Jim Weaver, Dave Nichols, and Rob Whistle scoring for the Hawks. Craig Levy, Jim Archibald, and Paul Houck netting the Springfield tallies here in that first period, a wild and woolly first 20 minutes. Now play to center ice, and Courtco for the Tribe. Shovels on the near side for Henry. Blocked off the defense. It's cleared to center. Here's Cowdice on a bouncing puck. There's it cross ice for Stewart along the near boards for Cowdice. Cowdice trying to clear one up the middle, but blocked off by New Haven, then knocked right back into the Springfield zone. Here is Cowdice for the Tribe. Headman to center ice, and Courtco on a 3-man rush. Moving through for Henry. Henry trying to make a play. Trying to give and go back for Courtco behind the net. Courtco back in, dangling in there to try and make a play. Barreling through as he and Hammond fight for the loose puck. Finally, Henry controls. He tries to center, but it's tipped away and all the way down. Goes wide of the net. They rule no icing as Springfield could have played the puck. Indians change on the fly, and out come the Don Biggs, Alan Kerr line out for Springfield as it's cleared back to center. Here's Cowdice for the Tribe as Johannesson now comes out on left wing as the third winger. It's centered in front. Kerr a poke at it, but it's deflected on the left wing side, and the Hawks take over. Here in the midway point of the second frame, with the teams tied, it's cleared away on the near boards. Hawks try and center one. Loose for Sundstrom, but tipped off there, and Pryor for the Tribe. Headman's for Kerr. Has Johannesson as well. The pass to Johannesson, who loses his stick, goes into the corner, tries to kick at the loose puck. Finally, he's able to kick it free to Kerr. Kerr tries to center for Biggs, who fans on it, and Dahlman leads for Sundstrom. Ahead in the neutral zone as the Hawks try and move through. Quick, neat burst of speed, but Taco to save rebound. It's deflected as the Hawks, Randy Heath moved through, but Taco made the stop. Now it's loose behind the net. Dahlman trying to center one. He's taken out of the play by Biggs. It's jammed free on the near side and finally deflected out the center, and the Hawks have to go back. Now Weimer for New Haven, who's played a pretty good game on defense for the Hawks. Drops it back to the point. Saarinen a shot right on and stopped by Taco. Now it's center, but Leiter is right there to clear, but not out. Hawks hold it in as Weimer tips one through between the circles for Dahlman. Pass through for Sundstrom. That fails to click, and the Indians are able to clear one outside the line all the way to center. 9 minutes, 12 seconds remaining second period. Play is slowed up. A lot of loose play between the blue lines at this point, with the teams playing a little bit closer, checking. Here's Leiter for Springfield. Ahead on left wing for Terry Martin. Tries to dipsy doodle through for Archibald. Right on, wrist shot. Stopped by Kleisinger, and he holds on. And Jim Archibald, I'm sure, has been told They get up the offense, and he's shown it here this evening with a goal and a couple of chances.
Well, he's going to receive an excellent pass right here from Terry Martin. You're going to see him thread the needle. He set up Archibald on his first goal in the first period, and that time had an excellent chance, Kleisinger, to make the save before Hausen could get to the rebound. But both teams thinking extremely defensive-minded at this point. I'm sure both coaches had plenty to say about the defense, the way it was played in the first period with 6 goals scored, 3 for each side. Here in this period, both teams look a little bit tentative, not wanting to make that crucial mistake. And you're seeing a lot of loose play in the neutral zone with a couple of scoring chances sprinkled in. The Springfield Indians having the majority of those throughout this game.
Play to the point, quick shot deflected, and it ends up going on goal. Kleisinger makes the stop as Levy let one go from the right point. Boy, we're seeing Levy here. Typical Craig Levy, the way he's shooting from that point.
Well, he loves to shoot the puck from the point and has a good, quick release. Wastes no time getting rid of it, and of course he's been around for some time and knows what to do with that puck.
Here's a loose play in front. Martin scores! Terry Martin, as right from the draw, the Indians were able to gain control of the puck. And with 8:49 left in the second period, Springfield 4 and New Haven 3. The Indians have regained the lead.
Scott Hausen does the work right off the draw. You're going to see it right here. Goes between the legs and takes a shot on goal. The rebound comes right out in front. Kleisinger's been having a problem with his rebounds in this game. That time it hurt him. Terry Martin picks up a goal to go along with an assist in this game. Continues to play strong hockey, his 11th of the year, and it gives the Indians the 4-3 lead.
Now it's deflected into the New Haven zone as Archibald, far corner, tries to make a play. Centers one, tipped away by Kleisinger, and the Hawks take over. Here is the clearing pass going to center ice, and Leiter for Springfield feeds it cross ice for Craig Levy. Levy scoops one high in the air. Martin races in after it. It's deflected on the net, and finally Martin takes over. Dropped for Levy. Levy teeing one up, shoots right on, and stopped by Kleisinger, and he makes the stop. The scoring play, Martin, his 11th from Hausen at 11 minutes, 11 seconds into this second period.
Well, Scott Hausen doing the work, and the New Haven center iceman on the last play did not contain Hausen one bit. Hausen, after poking the puck between his legs, then stepped right around him, and it was the New Haven center's job to really take out the center iceman after he works the puck around. Did not do so, and then the puck was centered right out in front to Terry Martin on the rebound, and he banged it home, and Terry Martin knows what to do around that net, and of late has continued his scoring streak now with a 5-game scoring streak. Hausen does the same, each of them on a tear, and along with Jim Archibald, that has become an outstanding line for the Indians.
Face-off will go into the New Haven zone. The Hawks take over with 8:15 left second period. Big scramble near side, and finally they ruled it was frozen there on the near side with Nichols for New Haven and Terry Tate for the Indians battling on the near boards.
Well, Terry Tate in a new position, and he's adapted quite well to it. Been a center iceman throughout his career, and Fred Creighton experimenting a little bit here. Put him on the left side with Gord Shervin and Paul Houck. Shervin, another player that's interchangeable. He can also play either right or left side, but much better and suited for center ice. And Terry Tate, with the size, very good along the boards and the wing, has worked out well on left wing.
Into the far side, here is Shervin for Springfield. Feeds for Houck, dropping it back to the point for Stewart, who deflects one back behind the net for Shervin. Centers in front, Houck, he scores! Paul Houck is second of the night as he was standing on the doorstep, and he didn't waste any time in giving the Indians a 2-goal lead at 5-3.
Well, credit the assist to Gord Shervin and Terry Tate, and this line continues to sparkle for Springfield. Paul Houck, his second goal of the game. We're going to see it unfold right here with Gord Shervin starting the entire play off. He had the puck behind the net. Tate poked it over to Houck, who had the entire net to shoot for, and did it. He was untouched. Paul Houck picks up his second of the night and gives the Indians a 5-3 lead. And for Springfield now, the thoughts will go to defensive hockey with the 2-goal lead.
Here is Tate for the Tribe, clearing one in. Kleisinger sets it up for his own defense, and Hammond for New Haven gives it free on the near side. Here are the Hawks now in a 3-man rush to center, clearing one into the Springfield zone, but the whole play is whistled down offside. So the Indians have come to life again here in period 2, as they did for that quick spurt in period 1. This scoring play, it was Houck his second, and second of the game from Shervin and Tate at 12:04.
Well, as you see some of the fans there, it looks like one of the spectators caught the brunt of that shot, cleared into the stands, and that's why when you're sitting in the lower arena sections of the Springfield Civic Center, you always have to be on your toes. You never know. And that time, let's hope that fan not seriously injured, but now being attended to by the attendants here at the Springfield Civic Center. Let's hope it's not serious.
Here's Lacey for the Indians, tries to get it out quickly in front. Nichols a poke at it, or Brennan rather, but it's deflected wide. Here's Smith for the Tribe, clearing one for Henry on the near boards, and Henry backhands one back in his own defense. 7:18 left second period. The Indians have bolted to a 5-3 lead as Kortko on the attack trying to move through. Blocked off there as the Hawks try and clear, and do succeed to center, and racing after it on the near side is O'Dwyer, but Taco way out of the net to clear it for Chris Pryor. Here's Pryor chucking the play as it's picked off by Brennan in front, but nice play by Vern Smith to break back the other way. Here's Smith, feeds it off the boards for Kortko, gets around Hammond, circling behind the net, tries to stuff one in front. Here's Kortko, a very nifty stick handler and playmaker, but checked away there, and Dahlman leads it on left wing. Pass on the far side for Brennan. Brennan right in on goal, shoots one on, and stopped by Taco as Brennan and Dahlman. A nice passing combination, and the Indians clear to center. Here is the Finnish defenseman, Simo Saarinen, in his own zone. Clearing one to center, but knocked down by Vern Smith. He takes a hit from Heath as the puck rolls into the Indians under the rink, where Pryor circling back after it. He tries to clear, but Dahlman holds it in. Dahlman from a sharp angle shot, blocked off there as it's fought for and finally picked up by Sundstrom. Sundstrom feeds in front of the net. Quick shot right on, and the Indians netminder Taco the save. Very deliberate play there as the referee Noeth never whistled it down as the Indians goaltender had held that puck. Now it's shot from the point right on. Now they whistle it down as Weimer lets one go, and John Noeth very slow to make those whistles.
Well, I don't understand Noeth here tonight. He's not consistent as far as blowing the whistle. On some occasions in the first period, as soon as the puck was covered up, he would have the whistle out and have it blown. And here, with Taco making that save prior to this one, looked like he had tied it up and wanted a face-off. Noeth wanted the play to be kept moving, and of course, as far as the referee is concerned, when he loses sight of the puck or feels that enough is enough, he will blow the whistle. But oftentimes they like to keep the play moving, but what you look for in the referee is consistency. Noeth has either had a quick whistle or a slow one here tonight, and the happy medium would be probably what Fred Creighton would like to see.
Play loose to the near side as Gay for New Haven trying to feed one through, but on the far side, Springfield's Ellen Kerr takes control of the loose puck. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left, second period. 5-3 Indians as Gay, a quick shot that deflects wide. Gay, who hails from Smithfield, Rhode Island, as it's knocked down in front, but finally picked up by Springfield. And here's Leiter on the attack. Leiter trying to make a play, gives for Biggs, closing and shoots, scores! Don Biggs with a beautiful shot, beats Kleisinger, and the Indians have a 3-goal lead and are bolting out to a 6-3 lead.
They continue to bring the offense into the Haven Nighthawks, the 11th goal of the season for Don Biggs, and he's going to pick up the score on a drop pass, a beautiful drop pass from Ken Leiter. Here you're going to see the drive by Biggs. Kleisinger got a little bit of a piece of it, but not enough, and it trickled between the pads and in the net. And for Don Biggs, the rookie, 24 points now, 11 goals, 13 assists. The Indians lead it 6-3.
Biggs and Kerr still fighting for the scoring lead on the Indian squad as Biggs has the goal there to make it 6-3. Now Weimer holds in a shot right on, sticked aside by Taco, and over the glass and into the crowd. So the Indians, who have stormed here for 3 goals and have a lead of 6-3. The scoring play, Biggs from Leiter and Kerr at 14:33. Both Kerr and Biggs 2 points tonight, and both have 25 on the season. Face-off will be circled to the left of the Indians' goal and carried Taco, who looks for his 6th victory of the season here this evening, and also his 5th in the last 7 outings. If he can go the distance here, he's got a 3-goal lead with 5:11 left second period. But as we saw in that first frame, anything can happen. It'll be Dahlman for New Haven. He's got Heath and Brennan as the other forwards, as he takes a quick shot right on, stopped by Taco, then Stewart knocks down the New Haven player in front, and we're going to have a penalty against Springfield here as he knocked down Sundstrom in front of the goal.
Peter Sundstrom going for the rebound, the shot taken by Randy Heath, and the penalty comes to Indians' Bill Stewart. We're going to see it right here, either going to be holding or interference. The shot taken by Heath, the save by Taco. Then there you see, with Stewart from behind hauling down Sundstrom. Immediately Noeth had the arm in the air, signaling penalty. And in a 6-3 hockey game, 5:07 remaining in the second period. New Haven now with a big situation to get back in the game on the power play. I'm sure Robbie Fatorik would love to see the Nighthawks get a goal here, and Fatorik, in his first year as the coach of the New Haven Nighthawks, has had a difficult time with player personnel and everything else that's gone on in New Haven. It's been a shuffle as far as players in from Los Angeles and New York, and here would like to see his Hawks score on the power play.
And for broadcasters, with the number of changes and number changes here, he makes it difficult for us up here. Now to center ice, Leiter Lead pass on the far side as the Indians try and make a play. It's centered for Martin, but deflected away. And Sundstrom takes over for the Nighthawks. Power play chance for New Haven, down by 3 with 4:47 left in the second frame. Across the line, but heading in ahead of the play is Sundstrom on the far side.
You know, Mike, a sparse crowd gathering here at the Springfield Civic Center on Saturday night, and this team, the way it's been playing, deserves a lot better than this. This Springfield Indians team has got a lot of talent on it right now and seems to be gelling and playing outstanding hockey, and the fans should come out and see it and do so this weekend. The Nova Scotia Oilers, 2 chances to see them Friday and Saturday nights. And we want to see the crowds begin to turn out at the Springfield Civic Center because the way the team has been playing, they deserve the fan support. And you know it's there in Springfield. The Indians just have to pick up a few more victories, and I'm sure the fans will be turning out in great number.
Clearing pass in as Gay deflects it through, but Leiter for Springfield clears on the far side. Hawks drop it back to the point as New Haven on the attack on the man advantage. Here's Rogers into the far corner. Mike Rogers for New Haven spins back to the point as the Hawks try and make a play. Rogers tries to dump one through, but Leiter breaks it up. Clears on the far side, and Archibald shoots it all the way down, and the Hawks have to go back. Simo Sarandon now leads a rush to center, gives it free on the near side as Moria banks it free. On the far side, Tate takes a hit. Indians try and clear out, and it ends up going into the far side off of the Indians player over there, Terry Tate, I believe, and we're going to have a whistle on the play.
52 seconds remaining here. The penalty to Bill Stewart. And Mike, as you know, the Indians penalty killing troops have been very, very good over the recent games for the Springfield Indians. Although New Haven has scored a power play goal here tonight, they've been on a tear and have been doing the job and coming out in different units that Fred Creighton has been using both forwards and defensemen and doing yeoman-like work.
Just 1 goal scored against the Indians in the last 15 power play chances for the opposition. So that tells you right there the kind of work that Springfield has been doing as far as that is concerned. Now the play is whistled down as we have a discrepancy called on the near side, John, and we'll see what that's all about. I believe we may have a board or something knocked down on the near side with the score here. 6-3 in favor of the Springfield Indians, and a little bit of a discrepancy here, and we'll have to see what happens. It may have been a glass broken on the near side.
Well, what has happened in that fan that got hit with the puck, this is, of course, they're still tending to that fan, and what they're doing is they're going to move the fan out with a wheelchair. What has happened is the only way to get the fan out of the arena with the wheelchair is to go through the New Haven bench. So they have asked the New Haven players to get off the bench. The ice crew now is moving the benches, and we're going to have this fan, we hope it's not too serious, be wheeled out of the Springfield Civic Center, and we're going to have a slight delay. You're seeing some of the activity right now with ice foreman Don Swindle and, of course, security, head of security Gary Ingham at the controls here, trying to get this spectator out of the building. And just an unfortunate occurrence, Mike. You'd never like to see this happen, and of course the fans, this is what happens sometimes when you sit down close to the ice surface. The pucks do travel at a great rate, and sometimes you can even be watching the game close enough